hi there, Internet. My name's Court, and you've got courtside seats for my review of The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 1, The Marshal. Let's do it. I think a lot of us have been really patiently waiting for the Season 2 of The Mandalorian, and well, rejoice, it's finally back. So today I'm going to give you my thoughts on the first episode of Season 2 called The Marshal. Now, just so you know, if you didn't see it in the title, this is a spoilers review. So if you haven't seen the episode yet, go off, check it out, it's really good. Hopefully you'll come back, watch this video later. So that's your spoiler warning. Cool? Cool. Moving on. I'm going to be straight up. I loved this episode. It's got that classic Western gunslinger vibe of, the hero just rolling into a town and having to take care of the threat for the people. That was awesome. I really dug the cold open where Mando goes to that cage match and is talking to that alien who knew was played by John Leguizamo. I will say I didn't love the fight where he takes all the dudes on. Something about it felt kind of stunted and overly choreographed to me, but whatever, it's a little nitpick. And I will also say, as soon as Mando promised the guy, because he worded it very specifically, as soon as he promised the alien guy that you will not die by my hand, I knew he was still gonna let him die. But the way that shook out, even though we didn't see it, the implication of what was about to happen, that was brutal. And I loved it. And the episode that took place on Tatooine last season, not my favorite episode. It was just so precious about its nostalgia. Here, yeah, it's Tatooine, but it's not Mos Eisley, or most of it isn't. It's a different town. And we knew they had to go back to Tatooine at some point because we knew that Boba Fett was going to show up in this season at some point. More on that later. And there certainly was nostalgia in here, but it didn't feel crammed in. It was a little bit more subtle, like the Marshal speeder bike. The engine was salvaged from one of the old pod racers. That was cool. I will say I didn't love that they brought back Amy Sedaris' character. I like Amy Sedaris. I don't like the character. It's just a little bit too cartoony for me. But she wasn't in it much, so I can't complain too much. And then they revealed Boba Fett. Except they totally didn't. They pulled a bait and switch. And as soon as he started talking, I was like, that's not him. It's the local lawman who bought Boba Fett's armor from a bunch of Jawas years earlier. But they gave us Timothy Olyphant, who I like, so awesome. And because he has to be brought up every single time, watching Baby Yoda watch Mando and the Marshal getting ready to duke it out, that was delightfully adorable. Unsurprisingly so. Before they get to fight, though, we get to see the Krayt Dragon. And I thought it was badass. I liked the design, the sound effects, the CGI was pretty strong. So Mando and the Marshal head off to find the dragon where it lives, under the conceit that the Marshal will give up Boba Fett's armor to Mando if Mando helps him kill the dragon, because the dragon is a threat to the Marshal's people. Now, along their way, there was a very incredibly goofy scene where they get attacked by these supposedly wild dog-like alien things, and it's all super tense. And then Mando starts grunting like he's speaking their language, and they soften, they start acting like pets, and he's rubbing their bellies. And I immediately thought of that scene in Alden Ehrenreich's Solo movie where Han Solo starts speaking Wookiee and it was so dumb. I actually thought that movie was a fun little space adventure, but I hated that scene. Fortunately, that wasn't what was happening here. Those doggos belonged to Tusken Raiders. He was speaking sand people, which we've seen him do before, so that was fine. I really liked the sand people in this episode. We got to see a little bit more of their way of life, humanizing them a little bit, but they're still really threatening as they should be. And I loved seeing the people of the town teaming up with the sand people to fight the common threat. For whatever reason, that kind of warmed my heart. And it was a great little action sequence. Again, I thought the visual effects were awesome, as was the sound design, and I loved the little touch of Mando being covered in the greenish-yellow goo after he slays the dragon. But I think most of us would agree that the money shot of this episode was right at the very end, where we see a character back to the camera, watching Mando and the Marshal ride off into the sunsets, and he turns, and there you have it, Boba Fett.
That's more like it.
And it's actually Temuera Morrison back. Granted, he never actually played Boba Fett. He played Jango Fett, but Boba is a clone of Jango, and I think this is awesome. So yeah, I thought this was an excellent episode to kick off Season 2. I love that Jon Favreau directed the episode because he's been the showrunner this whole time. He's never directed it before. I hope he does more. So those are my thoughts on the first episode of Season 2 of The Mandalorian. Now, I want to know, have you seen it? What did you think about the episode? And what is your favorite Mando episode overall thus far? Whatever your thoughts, hit the comments below. Let's discuss. If you enjoyed this review, please smash that like button and give it a share if you really enjoyed it. And hey, why not take a second, do me a favor, click subscribe and ring that bell to subscribe to my channel for more movie reviews, entertainment news, trailer reactions, all that good stuff. Hope you guys are all safe and healthy. Thanks very much for watching. I will see you all in the next one. This is The Way.